So you said he's growing on you. This is the guy that you had not grown on you at all before, or was it just that you just didn't believe it was
You're
going to
going to get
ever?
me in trouble now. You're going to get me
No,
lambasted in
no, no,
Twitter
no, no,
because
not at
everyone
all,
thinks
not at
I'm a
all,
weirdo for not
not
rating him.
not at all. It's fine. Hey, look, there was someone in the chat that didn't rate him. Let me go back and find him. There was someone in the
Mm,
chat who said he doesn't like him. He's got no pace. He's lightweight. Let me see.
But I'm going to give my opinion still.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
stick
Go
to
for
my
it. Go for
opinion.
it. While we find it, go for it.
I'm going to stick to my opinion. Well, let's find up the. Just give me 1 second. Look, the two players. Well, shall we go to the first part of the
Go on.
conundrum?
Yeah,
Let's go to the first part of the conundrum.
selling players.
Right. So, in order for that to happen, this needs to happen, right? Can you bring it up again?
I will. The outgoings.
Why is it not coming up?
What are you looking for?
This in share the screen.
Oh, sorry. You didn't. Oh, I can do that. Yes, of course. There you go.
Okay,
Scroll up again.
I'll do it. Okay. In order for Rodrigo or Gordon or whoever we want to mention for them to come in, this needs to be clarified and established whether it's happening or not. I was of the opinion that it's 50-50. Do you remember we had conversations about it every week and I'd change my mind every week? I didn't know what I want to do or what I would do or what the situation was. But I think it's apparent now that Luis Diaz wants to leave. Again, I don't believe he wants to leave as a first choice. I believe he wants to leave because he feels disrespected and that we're not negotiating a new deal for him, which he deserves. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he knows that we've tried to have he's tried to have contract talks, in my opinion, and we've said, look, you're 28. We're not going to give you more than you're on now. It's either see it out, or it's probably best that you find a new club. Then, if it's something this money is, if money's the thing you're looking for now. I mean, let's be honest. He's completed the English football trophy list, hasn't he? He's won all three. So, yeah, maybe it's the right time for him to
Do you
go and.
agree? Do you agree with the stance we're taking?
Yes, yes, absolutely, yes. If
Wow.
it's the swap with Rodrigo, yes. Um, I don't mind swapping him. If Liverpool were also taking a stance that they want to keep him and let him go for free after 2 years, then I would question it a little bit, because he's got value right now. And if they don't think at 28 they can, he's not going to have the numbers of Mo, which he's not. Let's be honest, he's not. That's when you invest in someone, when they're hitting Mo type numbers. He was great at the start of the season. He was great at the end of the season. In the middle, he was lost a little, I thought. But maybe that's because he was asked to play central as well. But it's clear that Slot likes Gakpo on the left more than him as well, which is the other thing. So because otherwise Gakpo would have played central instead of him. So yeah, putting all that together, the age is going to be a factor, and if he wants 250,000 a week, I think it's best to get that somewhere else.
I don't think he wants that much, but I think he wants something along the lines of reflecting his true worth. Now, to and fro, I slightly disagree with you. Maybe I don't disagree with you. Maybe I'm not sure. Again, I'm back in that stage, and this is why I'm not one of these decision makers, because I am truly, truly stuck with what to do with Lucho. He's a favorite of mine. I think he's been a wonderful servant. I think he's a fighter. I think he's a warrior. I think he work. I've never seen a more hardworking wide forward, right? And his output has been great this last season, and he's never grumbled or moaned about when he plays, how he plays, when he gets substituted, all of that business, and he looks a brilliant teammate. But I do like this ruthless approach that we have spoken about in terms of players that are over 28. We decide and we control proceedings in terms of their contract, right? I am of the opinion then I do agree with their stance ultimately. So he must go. No, I mean, I talked my way out of it and into it, but that's the best way, right?
I love it.
But that's the best way. But that's the best way.
It's like therapy. You just talk to yourself and you
Therapy.
no, yeah, absolutely right.
What is Chat G&G about?
It is. It's therapy, actually.
It's therapy. We talk and we discuss and then we think how we feel, and we
Yeah.
say how we feel. Okay, we've established Luis Diaz. How much do we want from Bayern Munich? Apparently, we want in the region of 70 to 80 million. Is that fair on him? Is that fair on us? Is that fair on all parties?
I'd take 70 million right now, 100%. That'd be fantastic, really, for Diaz, and that'd be fantastic for us in terms of funding. There'll be a profit on the books as well. I think it'll be really low on his value right now, 20, 30 million. So you're talking, that's pure profit for the club. Remember, you got to talk about book value, not 70 million is his value, but the way it works in PSR and accounting, it's going to be book value that the club takes in. So if there's like a 40 million pound profit or 50 million pound profit on him, amazing for us. Amazing. It means we really get that even more headroom to go and get like we said, a Rodrygo. Because if Rodrigo is 80, 90 million, it's going to be over 5 years. It's 20 million a year that we pay normally in the way it works. There you go. That's 2 years worth of payments just with that 40 that's come in. So it's really healthy. It feels really healthy that way. So that's how that all works, and that's how it all gets amortized. Is that the word? Yeah, that's the word. So yeah, look, I think it's an upgrade, and he's much younger as well, Rodrigo. So maybe we do let's go straight to him before we go to Nunes. But let's talk Rodrigo, dude. So your feelings originally were that you didn't think he was a good player, or maybe didn't suit us. What was that? What did you see that you didn't think he was good enough for us? I've not seen. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I've not seen much of him, and I've only gone and watched YouTube stuff, and it's blown me away how amazing he looks on there. But YouTube's not a great way to scout. I watch I don't have time in my life to watch any other football apart from Liverpool. I'll be honest about that. So you tell me, why did you think he was not good enough earlier on, like a couple of months back? And has your stance changed now?
No. So my stance hasn't changed, but I want to make a few things clear, because when you talk about a player, if you don't rate him, that doesn't automatically mean you think he's rubbish, or if you
Yeah,
don't rate him on the same level as some of your current attackers and
true.
players, right?
That makes sense.
Rodrigo is a very good young player.
Mm.
Rodrigo has been predominantly playing right wing for Real Madrid and has struggled to make an impact, or has struggled to make enough of an impact for them to keep him. Whether that's strategic, whether that's political, whether that's formation wise, whether that's for whatever reason, now's not the time to go into that. If he was to come to Liverpool, he would absolutely, of course, have my utmost support. I just don't think he's an upgrade on Lucho Diaz as of right now. He may go on to become a better player than Luis Diaz. He may have a higher ceiling. He may have a higher potential. I understand everyone who says that. But right now, we are a team that is competing with every trophy in world football. I'd like us to think. We are the current Premier League champions. I want us to compete at the highest level. I just feel that Rodrigo would need a bit of adaptation. And I get it about most players would need time and adaptation, but there is someone else that I wanted to bring into the conversation that
Mm.
wouldn't need the same level of adaptation and time. And I know it divides opinion, and I want to hear your opinion, and I want to hear the chat's opinion. And I think I know where the chat's going to go with this opinion, but hey, this is what it's about. Chat,
Go on.
G and G. I think Gordon would be more suited for us as of today, right now, as a replacement for Lucho.
Well, I'm not against Gordon. I think what I have heard is that the powers that be and the stats guys at Liverpool, if everybody's like, "Hey, Rodrigo's great because the stats nerds, let's trust them," they also love him. They also rate him very highly. So you can't have it one way or the other. You know what I mean? If the stats guys like both of those players, then that's the way it is. I think it'd be a drop down from a Rodrigo if you ask me. The only real big positive about
Why
him
do you
is,
think that? Why do you say that?
I mean, I don't know. I just there's quality-wise, is he one-dimensional? Well, Gordon, that is. Is he
I
very
get that aspect.
one-dimensional?
But if that one
It's very
dimension,
much a,
if that
a run
if that if
very
that
much
one
running
dimension is,
behind. Do you get what I mean? Whereas I think the other guy's a carrier, a dribbler, a real like he's got a lot with him with the quality around him. There's a lot there, but I don't know if that's there with Gordon. But the numbers, I mean, I think the people really like him up there, and
people forget.
he's a scouser, which is the other bit
So,
that I think he'd give everything for this
so
team.
this is what I need to address now. And people in the chat that are so anti-Gordon now, or were,
Mm,
always have been.
mm.
Liverpool, Gordon, and his people believed that he was a Liverpool player. It was almost signed, sealed, and delivered. The only reason Gordon isn't a Liverpool player today is Newcastle at the very last minute managed to sell two or three of their other assets. That meant they could keep Gordon. Gordon was desperate for Liverpool, and Liverpool had highlighted him as the player to play on that left side of the attack for us. So when we say we trust the nerds, we trust Hughes and Edwards, oh my God, fantastic summer of madness. We're doing a madness, we're doing this, we bought this, we bought this. Guys, those same people, that same structure, that same scouting, headhunted and had pretty much Gordon nailed and delivered. So we can't suddenly pivot and say, oh no, suddenly we don't want Gordon, suddenly he's rubbish because Rodrigo apparently will be available on the market. Now,
Hey, humans will go for the shiny, expensive, amazing Brazilian named player, no matter what.
Yep.
People. This is really funny. He's a cheat. What the hell was Suarez, mate?
Oh my God.
We loved him. He
What
was
did
the biggest cheat that we've ever had
What
in
is-
our blooming history. He was biting people on the pitch, and he was approved to racially abuse people on the pitch.
Right. Ole says, ignore that. Gags, don't start that again. Ole says, nerds have moved on to Rodrigo. Now, if that's the case, I have absolutely no qualms with it. And look, to be honest with you, I've got no rights anyway to say anything anyway, because the nerds are the nerds and they're the ones in charge. If they have decided that Rodrigo is the replacement for Lucho Diaz, he will have my utmost support. And I do think there is a player in there. I just don't think he's the one player or he's the player that will elevate us as of now, right now. He may go on to become that. I don't want to be chasing the likes of Arsenal and City because we're having to adapt to Rodrigo fitting in slowly. Do you follow me, guys? Do you follow what I mean? I think Gordon is plug in and play right now. But can we do both? Could we do both?
No, unless Rodrigo can play across all three roles, across the front three, and therefore can kind of move around. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure we'd go two left wingers because Gakpo's here, man. It just doesn't make sense, Chris. It just wouldn't make any sense at all to do both. I think two strikers makes more sense than two left wingers, if that makes sense.
Can you share that? Can you share that screen for 1 second?
Yeah.
Because this is another person that, in my opinion, we should take notice of.
Oh man, Alex Crook deserves flowers, man. The geezer's getting a lot right this summer. Maybe longer.
And there's a reason for that.
Go on, then.
Alex Crook again knows our people in charge. So they have a personal relationship.
There you go.
So there you go. Alex Crook and Mark McCann should be listened to. And he says, if Liverpool were to sell Luis Diaz, I would expect them to ramp up their interest in Rodrigo. Now, FSG are trying to do something very smart here, which is just like FSG. I think we're trying to get fees for player for player. So I think we're trying to get Nunes money
Hmm.
for Ekitike money. And I think we're trying to get Luis Diaz money for Rodrigo or Gordon money. That's what we're trying to do. Which is business, right? That's the way to conduct it.
Mate, absolutely right. Absolutely. This is operating at the highest level possible. I watch a lot of, I never used to watch opposition fans YouTube, but I love watching opposition fans YouTube when Liverpool are doing well. And I only watch the clips where they're talking about Liverpool, and that's the only clips that come up on YouTube, is when they're talking about Liverpool. And right now, every single YouTube opposition fan is praising, even if we didn't get Isaac, they're praising how we handle this market and how we're dominating and dictating the market. And they're still saying there's just buying players, but they've got loads to sell, and they know Elliott's going to go yet as well, which by the way will be pure profit too. So will Morton, Everton, West Ham, both of them. Then there's Doak as well, which is like 20-25 million, bro. You're talking.
We're finally flexing our muscles, aren't we? We're finally acting. Look, we act the big club off the pitch in terms of the marketing and the structure and the sponsorship deals, etc. But now we're acting the big boys in the transfer market, which was the one area that the ownership were mostly heavily criticized. Am I right?
Especially, well, not during the first few Klopp years. He did well. They did well buying all those players and building that squad up until we got to the VVD bit, and we bought in Allison, and that's it. It's kind of stopped. I didn't stop. We still got Jota and Thiago and a few people in, and then the Diaz and the Gakpo. But it went very much slowed down because of the transfer debt that we picked up, and so we have zero transfer debt. Now we want to build the debt and then getting 22-year-olds like this one, Ekitike, makes sense at that point, because in 4 years' time they'll still have value when your debt's coming down.
Yep.
Pure profit again. So I think we're in a spot where we can spend now, build this squad and build this team for the next 4 or 5 years and try to dominate. And for that's why I wouldn't want a Gordon, because I want to dominate for 4 or 5 years. And I think someone like a Rodrigo will have the ceiling. Let's talk about, forget the dimensions that we said he was one-dimensional. I think Rodrigo's ceiling's way higher, massively higher.
I get it. No, absolutely, I get it.
And so by the way, I'm not saying Gordon's a bad player. I know everybody else is. I trust the ownership, but the ceiling is the thing, and we want to keep going upwards, right? Trajectory wise as a club, no matter what. You bring in Isaac, you're kind of going to get the peak years, right? You're going to get, if you bring in Ekitike, he's going to build upwards. By the way, he's not playing with great players. He'll be playing with Wirtz and maybe Rodrigo and maybe Mo Salah. The guy's going to be elevated. And
of course, his game's going to elevate.
He might just have a few more brain cells than some of maybe a player we have right now. By the way, we do love him and loved how he celebrated his goal, Nunes. But he's not the smartest footballer on the pitch, So we need someone who's got a bit of a brain, can link up, can play. And that's where this team, and that's where Slot's team will really go upwards. So I think that's why I would go Rodrigo, Grizz out of the two. Just the ceiling stuff, and also the other players as well. The ceiling, it's just higher and better. And you look at.
I'm happy with either.
And Kirkes, what are they? They're gonna grow here.
Insane. I like the options. Look, as I said, I like the options, and the fact that we're in this position feels good. And I guess this segues into Paul, who's kind of trying to troll me, but it didn't really work. Like, I just brought up,
He's got laughing emojis, so he's trying to be funny. It's all right.
No, it's perfectly fine. But can I address it?
Yeah, go for it.
Paul says that's not rocket science, Grizz, and then he does this, and then he does that, and then he just laughs. He says, you're saying that like it's some sort of business revelation. Then more laughing emojis. Sell to buy. Acting the big boys. Acting, ? You sound like a United fan.
Okay, that's not nice.
Paul.
Yeah, I didn't read the back end bit.
Yeah, I know you didn't. I did. You got my back up. Paul,
Let me finish my drink.
every club sets out to be the big dogs, act like the big guys, right? How many actually fulfill it? Which club? I know it's not rocket science, dear Paul, but we are actually fulfilling our plan, fulfilling the position to be. We are fulfilling the dream of being the big dogs, and we are flexing our muscles in this market. Can you say the same for Man United? Can you say the same for Chelsea or Arsenal, whatever? No. So having actually putting into action the plans that you have is commendable, and that's why I'm commending them. I'm not sounding like a Man United fan. You're actually sounding like a Man United fan. So there. I was going to say, where has that gone? We forgot to ask this. We shouldn't have to ask, but where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Oh my God, I can't find it. But people, there is close to 5,000 people watching on Twitter. There's close to 300 people watching on YouTube, and I don't have access to Facebook. Me and Gags started off with about 30 people watching us and 100 people, and I said we will grow and we will elevate and we will try to keep this as a community show as much as possible. And this is what we meant. Close to, in totality, 6,000 people watching us on the cross platforms. We love it, and we appreciate and we are humbled. Like, subscribe if you haven't. Not me, but these guys. These guys are doing amazing, tremendous work over at the Anfield Index. We have daily content, and I say we because I feel part of them now. We have daily content, twice, 3 times a day, just for your needs. You have nothing. There's not a time of day where you don't have Liverpool content coming out. So like and subscribe and follow the journey. Liverpool are on a madness, and so are Anfield Index.
Thank you, Grizz. Appreciate it.
You don't need to thank me at all. I say things, you know, whatever I say, sometimes it gets me in trouble, but I say it.
No, you ain't getting in trouble for plugging Anfield Index, my brother. I tell you that.
No. I'm talking about generally. Generally, me,
are.
I speak my mind, and I'm very opinionated. And you either love me or hate me. But hey, listen, it is what
Marmite. It's all good. We love a bit of
it
Marmite.
is.
I've got the next bit. The next bit we want to go.
Go on.
Should we go? Should we skip? I want to know what this meant because you tweeted this recently.
Yeah.
Strong ending. Let's talk about your strong ending. What do you mean by this?
Well, this is it. I think it's very self-explanatory. We had a very strong start. We had a phase of assess the situation in the middle, and now we're hoping, we're expecting, we're anticipating a very strong ending. And I wanted to discuss with you and the community what would satisfy us in terms of a strong ending. So we know 3 players are in. We know Kwanzaa has gone. We know a centre-back is due in. And we know Luis Diaz and Nunes and Chiesa probably most likely on the way out. Now that's how many players out, Gags? That's 3 players out. Are we anticipating 3 in, 3 out, 3 in?
Yeah, I think so.
Plus a centre-back?
I think the centre-back. No, 2 in.
Centre-back is a must.
Yeah. Just wanted to say thank you to LFCR786. I think he's behind, but yeah, thank you very much for the super chat.
Big supporter of mine. Thank you very much. He comes on my channel as well. Thank you very much, LFCR786. Lads, the issue is Ekiteke said no to Newcastle. When Liverpool are involved in the picture, guys, I'm telling you now, we are the talk of the town. We are the big dogs right now. So every player in world football wants to play. And Wirtz was the most perfect example.